15. Black LGBTQ+ celebrities who fear Donald Trump the most. Welcome to Legends of Black Excellence. What if I told you that 15 of the most iconic Black LGBTQ+ celebrities live in constant fear of being erased from existence? Under Donald Trump's policies, the very essence of their identities is being challenged and their rights are at risk. From Hollywood stars like Laverne Cox to groundbreaking activists like India Moore, these individuals are fighting against a system determined to strip away their recognition. Can you imagine the emotional toll of fighting for your very right to exist? Let's dive in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more eye-opening stories. Tona Brown. Tona Brown is a pioneering figure whose journey as a Black transgender woman has been defined by remarkable resilience and a profound dedication to both her artistry and her identity. As the first Black transgender violinist to perform at the White House, Tona shattered boundaries in the classical music world, where the spaces for transgender artists are often limited and traditionally conservative. Her story is a powerful reminder of the immense strength it takes to pursue authenticity in an environment that may reject you. Tona's love for music began at an early age. Growing up in Virginia, she was drawn to the violin and quickly became recognized for her exceptional talent. Her ability to navigate the classical music world, a space that has historically struggled with diversity, allowed her to become one of the few Black transgender artists to achieve significant recognition. Her performance at the White House in 2009 was a milestone not just in her career, but for the transgender community as a whole, signaling that art and identity can coexist in powerful and transformative ways. However, Tona's path was not without struggles. Transitioning in the public eye brought personal and professional challenges. She faced skepticism from some of her colleagues and industry figures who questioned her ability to continue performing in the highly competitive and traditional classical music scene. Despite these challenges, she remained steadfast in her commitment to her craft, using music as a means of self-expression and healing. Tona's artistry is not just about playing the violin. It is a declaration of her identity, a refusal to be hidden in a world that too often overlooks transgender individuals. Yet when former President Donald Trump's administration signed an executive order that legally defined gender as either male or female, Tona found herself fighting yet another battle, this time a legal one. The order stripped away the rights of transgender individuals, undermining their identities by enforcing a narrow binary view of gender. This new policy had an immediate and personal impact on Tona, who suddenly found herself forced to re-examine her legal documents and her very existence within the legal framework of the country she had worked so hard to be seen in. Despite these setbacks, Tona remains committed to advocating for the rights and visibility of transgender individuals. She continues to use her platform, Amia Scott. Amia Scott is a pioneering Black transgender actress, model, author, and activist whose journey has been marked by resilience and a commitment to visibility and advocacy for the LGBTQ+ community. Born on January 11, 1988 in Manhattan, New York, and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, Amia faced significant challenges during her adolescence. At the age of 15, she began her transition, and by 17, she had fully transitioned into a woman. This process was not without its difficulties, including strained relationships with her family. Despite these challenges, Amia found strength in the LGBTQ+ ballroom scene, where she became a respected member and gained recognition for her performances. Amia's rise to prominence was propelled by her presence on social media platforms, particularly Instagram, where she amassed a large following. VH1 recognized her as the first transgender model to achieve such a significant social media presence. Her visibility in the digital space led to opportunities in mainstream media. In 2015, Amia made history by becoming the first transgender woman to be cast on Bravo's The Real Housewives of Atlanta. However, she left the show after filming 4 episodes, citing concerns that the producers intended to exploit her transgender identity for drama rather than portray her authentically. Following her departure from RHOA, Amia secured a role in Lee Daniels' musical drama series Star, where she portrayed Cotton Brown, a transgender character. This role made her one of the first openly transgender actresses to play a transgender character on a major network television series. Beyond her acting career, Amia is a vocal advocate for transgender rights and visibility. She has been involved in various activism efforts, including speaking engagements focused on bullying self-esteem and self-acceptance. In 2018, she was honored with the Gilead Rising Star Award for her contributions to LGBTQ+ advocacy. Amia is also an entrepreneur, having launched her own beauty line, Amia Beauty, which offers inclusive products for the LGBTQ+ community. Additionally, she authored a memoir titled Memoirs of a Mermaid, providing insight into her personal experiences and journey as a transgender woman. In summary, Amia Scott's multifaceted career and activism have made her a trailblazer for transgender representation in media. Her unwavering commitment to authenticity and advocacy continues to inspire and empower individuals within the LGBTQ+ community and beyond. Leiomy Maldonado. Leiomy Maldonado, known as the Wonder Woman of Vogue, is a legendary figure in the ballroom scene and a trailblazer for the LGBTQ+ community, especially in the realm of voguing. Born in the Bronx, New York, Leiomy's journey to prominence began in the early 2000s, when she discovered her passion for voguing, a dance style originating from the Harlem ballroom scene. Voguing, known for its fierce and dramatic poses, was a way for Leiomy to express herself authentically, especially in a world that often sought to suppress her identity. Her unique style and unmatched skill quickly caught the attention of the ballroom community, where she earned the title of Wonder Woman for her flawless technique and grace. She became one of the most celebrated and influential voguing icons, competing and winning countless balls, elevating voguing from an underground subculture to global recognition. Leiomy's rise to fame wasn't just about mastering the art of voguing. It was about breaking boundaries and challenging societal norms, especially in an industry that had little space for Black transgender individuals. Her visibility as a Black transgender woman in the mainstream, both in the ballroom and beyond, was revolutionary. Beyond the ballroom, Leiomy has used her platform to advocate for transgender visibility and rights. She has appeared in various media outlets, including America's Next Top Model, where she was featured as a judge and mentor, helping to bring voguing and LGBTQ+ culture to a broader audience. However, despite her success, the reality of discrimination and marginalization as a transgender woman remains ever present. The 2020 executive order signed by then-President Donald Trump, which defined gender strictly as biological sex, posed a significant challenge for Leiomy. Legal documents no longer reflected her true gender, and many of the legal rights she fought so hard for were at risk of being invalidated. Yet Leiomy remains steadfast, continuing to fight for her identity and the rights of transgender individuals everywhere. Her perseverance, resilience, and undeniable talent serve as an inspiration to countless others within the LGBTQ+ community. Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a groundbreaking figure in the fashion industry, known for being the first Black transgender plus-size model to appear in Calvin Klein's Proud in My Calvin's campaign. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Jari's journey into the modeling world was not without its obstacles. Growing up, she struggled with body image and acceptance, particularly in an industry that often favored slim, conventionally beautiful models. She was aware of the significant lack of representation for Black transgender individuals, especially those who didn't fit traditional beauty standards. Jari's path to success was defined by her courage to embrace her true self. After transitioning, she faced discrimination in the fashion industry, where she was often told that she didn't fit the mold of what a model should be. Despite the rejections and the challenges, Jari refused to be silenced, determined to create a space for herself and others like her. Her breakthrough moment came when she was cast in Calvin Klein's campaign, which was a landmark achievement not only for her, but for the entire LGBTQ+ community. Jari's visibility as a Black transgender plus-size model was a powerful statement about the need for diversity and inclusion in fashion, a field that had long excluded people who didn't fit a narrow standard of beauty. Her success in the fashion world also opened doors for her to become a vocal advocate for transgender rights. Yari has used her platform to speak out about the need for greater representation of transgender individuals in all areas of life, including fashion, entertainment, and media. She has become a powerful voice for inclusivity, pushing the fashion industry to evolve and recognize the beauty in all forms, regardless of body type or gender identity. However, the 2020 executive order issued by the Trump administration, which recognized only two genders, posed a serious threat to Yari's hard-earned identity. This policy threatened to invalidate her legal identity, something she had worked so hard to gain and maintain. Despite the setbacks, Yari continues to advocate for change, and her success serves as a beacon of hope for others in the transgender community, proving that visibility, authenticity, and strength can overcome even the most challenging barriers. Monroe Bergdorf. Monroe Bergdorf is a British model, activist, writer, and broadcaster who has become a prominent figure in advocating for transgender rights and racial justice. Born in Stansted, Mount Fitchett, Essex, England in 1987, Bergdorf began her career in fashion PR before transitioning at the age of 24. She gained significant attention in 2017 when she became the first transgender woman to front a L'Oreal UK campaign. However, her participation was short-lived due to controversy surrounding comments she made about racism, leading to her dismissal from the campaign. Despite this setback, Bergdorf continued to rise in prominence, using her platform to speak out against racism and transphobia. Bergdorf's activism extends beyond her modeling career. She has contributed to publications such as British Vogue, Grazia ID, and The Guardian, and has appeared as a guest commentator on ITV's Good Morning Britain and This Morning. Soon, in 2019, she was appointed as a UN Women UK Changemaker and awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of Brighton for her campaigning efforts. Her debut book, Transitional, was published in 2023, offering a personal and insightful perspective on her experiences as a transgender woman. Despite facing significant challenges, including online harassment and public scrutiny, Bergdorf remains steadfast in her commitment to advocating for marginalized communities. Her resilience and dedication to social justice continue to inspire others in the fight for equality and inclusion. Micaela J. Rodriguez. Micaela J. Rodriguez is an American actress and singer who has made history as a trailblazer for transgender representation in the entertainment industry. Born on January 7, 1991 in Newark, New Jersey, Rodriguez developed a passion for the performing arts at a young age. She began her career in theater, earning acclaim for her portrayal of Angel in the 2011 off-Broadway production of Rent, which earned her the Clive Barnes Award. Rodriguez's breakthrough came with her role as Blanca Evangelista in the FX television series Pose, which premiered in 2018. The series, set in the 1980s and 1990s New York City ballroom scene, featured the largest cast of transgender actors in a scripted series. Rodriguez's portrayal of Blanca, a house mother guiding young LGBTQ+ individuals through challenges, garnered critical acclaim and widespread recognition. In 2021, Rodriguez made history by becoming the first openly transgender woman to win a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a television series drama for her role in Pose. She was also nominated for an Emmy Award in the same category, further cementing her status as a pioneering figure in Hollywood. Beyond her acting career, Rodriguez is an advocate for transgender rights and representation. She has used her platform to speak out on issues affecting the transgender community and continues to inspire future generations through her work and activism. Maya Taylor. Maya Taylor is an American actress and singer best known for her groundbreaking role as Alexandra in the 2015 film Tangerine. Born on March 28, 1991 in Houston, Texas, Taylor faced significant challenges early in life. Raised by her Christian grandparents, she came out as gay during her school years, leading to tension at home. In 2009, she disclosed her sexual orientation to her grandparents, resulting in her being kicked out of their home. Subsequently, she moved to California to live with another relative, but her gender identity led that relative to kick her out as well. Unable to secure legal employment at the age of 18, she worked as a sex worker in Hollywood. During this time, she began therapy, and in 2013, she came out as transgender. Taylor's breakthrough came when she was approached by director Sean Baker and co-screenwriter Chris Berguk while standing in the yard of Los Angeles' LGBT Center. They offered her the role of Alexandra in Tangerine, a film shot entirely on iPhones that follows two transgender sex workers on Christmas Eve in Los Angeles. Her performance garnered critical acclaim, earning her the Independent Spirit Award for Best Supporting Female, making her the first openly transgender actress to win a major film award. She also received the Gotham Independent Film Award for Breakthrough Actor and the San Francisco Film Critics Circle Award for Best Supporting Actress. Following her success in Tangerine, Taylor continued to pursue acting, appearing in the short film Happy Birthday, Marsha in 2018, where she portrayed transgender rights activist Marsha P. Johnson. She also appeared in the short film Diane from the Moon. In 2018, she was cast in the AMC series Dietland, which began airing in June 2018. Taylor has expressed a desire to take on diverse roles, including those in horror films or as high-powered professionals aiming to break stereotypes and showcase the versatility of transgender individuals in media. Despite her success, Taylor remains committed to advocating for the transgender community, particularly in areas of employment and representation. She continues to use her platform to raise awareness about the challenges faced by transgender individuals, striving to create opportunities for others in the industry. Brian Michael Smith. Brian Michael Smith is an American actor and LGBT advocate recognized for his role as firefighter Paul Strickland on the Fox series 911 Lone Star. Born on January 29, 1983 in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Smith was assigned female at birth, but identified as male throughout his childhood. He challenged societal expectations by playing on the boys' football team and setting records in shot put and pole vaulting on the girls' track and field team during high school. Smith studied acting and video production at Kent State University before moving to New York City to pursue a career in acting. Smith's early career included featured roles on TV shows such as Girls Chicago PD Blue Bloods and Law & Order SVU. In 2017, he publicly came out as transgender through his role as Twan Wilkins, a transgender police officer on the OWN series Queen Sugar. His portrayal was significant, as it marked one of the first times a transgender actor played a transgender character on a major network drama. In 2020, Smith made history by becoming the first openly black transgender man to secure a series regular role on network television with his casting as firefighter Paul Strickland on 911 Lone Star. His character is depicted as a skilled and observant firefighter breaking new ground in representation for transgender men, particularly black transgender men in mainstream media. Beyond his acting career, Smith is an advocate for transgender visibility and representation in the entertainment industry. He has mentored LGBTQ+ youth and participated in initiatives aimed at increasing diversity and inclusion in media. In 2021, he joined the Human Rights Campaign's board of directors to further support social and legislative equality for LGBTQ+ individuals. Smith's journey reflects a commitment to authenticity and advocacy, using his platform to challenge stereotypes and promote positive change for transgender individuals in the entertainment industry. Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox is a groundbreaking figure in both the entertainment industry and the fight for transgender rights. Born on May 29, 1972 in Mobile, Alabama, Cox's early life was marked by the struggles of growing up in a conservative community that didn't understand her gender identity. Raised in a family that faced deep resistance to her truth, Cox's journey toward self-acceptance was not easy. In fact, it was a long battle with prejudice, isolation, and rejection that eventually led her to embrace her true self. Laverne first rose to fame with her iconic role as Sophia Bursay on the Netflix series Orange is the New Black OITNB, making history as the first openly transgender woman to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award in 2014. Her portrayal of Sophia, a black transgender woman navigating the complexities of prison life, was a watershed moment for LGBTQ+ representation in television. Cox's portrayal was praised for its authenticity depth and humanity, breaking down stereotypes about transgender people and giving them a voice in a mainstream setting. Her acting career, however, is just one aspect of her far-reaching impact. Laverne Cox has become a tireless advocate for transgender rights, speaking out about issues such as violence against transgender women, transphobia, and the lack of adequate health care for transgender individuals. She has become an influential figure in the fight for equality and visibility for transgender people, particularly transgender people of color. Despite her success, Cox's journey has not been without challenges. In the face of rising political and social hostility towards transgender people, especially under the Trump administration, Cox's very identity has come under attack. Trump's executive orders, which recognized only two genders based strictly on biological sex, directly threatened her existence. These laws not only invalidated her gender, but made it harder for her and others to live freely without facing discrimination or harassment. She was forced to navigate a world where her right to live authentically was questioned and her legal identity was under siege. Nonetheless, Cox has remained resilient. Her work on and off screen has shown that she is more than just an actress. She is a leader, an advocate, and a voice for the voiceless. Through her advocacy, Cox has become an inspiration for millions, proving that even in the face of adversity, it is possible to remain true to oneself. Laverne Cox is a testament to the power of visibility, acceptance, and courage in the face of systemic erasure. Alexandra Gray. Alexandra Gray is an actress and activist who has become a powerful voice for the transgender community, particularly transgender women of color. Born in Chicago, Illinois, Gray faced a difficult upbringing filled with personal struggles, including homelessness and the lack of family support. Her journey toward self-identity and success was not easy, but her determination and resilience have made her one of the leading figures in the fight for LGBTQ+ equality. Gray's entry into the entertainment industry was not without challenges. She began her career in the late 2000s, and despite her immense talent, the road to recognition was fraught with obstacles, including discrimination and lack of opportunities for transgender people. Her breakthrough came when she was cast in a recurring role on the hit television show Empire, where she portrayed a transgender woman navigating the complexities of her personal and professional life. Her role was significant because it brought visibility to transgender characters, particularly black transgender women in a mainstream television series. Her portrayal in Empire and her other roles in shows like How to Get Away with Murder have made her a trailblazer for transgender representation in Hollywood. Gray's performances resonate because they do not simply reflect the hardships faced by transgender individuals. They celebrate the joy, complexity, and resilience of transgender lives. Through her work, Gray has shown that transgender people are multidimensional, deserving of the same opportunities and recognition as anyone else. However, like many transgender people, Gray's life has been affected by the political climate, especially during the Trump administration. The executive orders passed under Trump, which restricted gender recognition to biological sex, threatened her very identity. For a transgender woman like Gray, the fear of legal erasure was real. Legal documents such as her birth certificate and identification failed to reflect her true gender, forcing her to constantly fight to have her identity validated. The Trump administration's stance on transgender rights deeply affected her, as it did countless other transgender individuals who were forced to navigate bureaucratic systems that refused to acknowledge their existence. Despite these challenges, Gray continues to advocate for transgender rights and is a vocal supporter of the community. Her journey is a reminder that the fight for equality is ongoing and that transgender people, especially black transgender women, must continue to demand recognition, respect, and the right to live authentically. Alexandra Gray's legacy will undoubtedly continue to inspire future generations to fight for a world where everyone, regardless of gender identity, is seen, heard, and celebrated. T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison is an iconic figure in the transgender community, known for her fierce determination, unapologetic personality, and trailblazing work in the entertainment industry. Born on April 22, 1977 in Miami, Florida, Madison grew up facing intense societal discrimination and rejection, particularly because of her gender identity. However, from a young age, she knew that she would not let society dictate who she was or how she should live. Her journey of self-discovery, though challenging, has led her to become one of the most influential voices in the LGBTQ+ community today. Before her rise to fame, T.S. Madison gained viral attention with her video series New Weave 22, a comedic take on hair and beauty culture. This video series would be a precursor to her breakout success, as it showcased her charisma, humor, and courage to live her truth unapologetically. Madison went on to star in The T.S. Madison Experience, a groundbreaking reality show that aired in 2017. This show marked a historic moment in television, as Madison became one of the first openly transgender women to have her own reality series. Her rise to fame was not just about entertainment. It was about visibility and representation for transgender people, particularly transgender women of color. Throughout her career, Madison has faced countless obstacles, including harsh verbal abuse, discrimination, and societal rejection. Yet, she turned each challenge into a platform for activism and advocacy, fighting for the rights and recognition of transgender people, particularly those who face intersectional oppression. Madison's work has consistently highlighted the struggles of Black transgender individuals often left out of mainstream conversations. Despite her success, the policies implemented under the Trump administration, particularly the executive orders that limited the recognition of gender to biological sex, deeply affected Madison. Her legal identity was questioned, and her rights to access essential services were severely restricted. The fear of being legally erased, especially for a public figure like Madison, was a constant source of anxiety. Yet through it all, T.S. Madison remained resilient. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the strength it takes to live authentically in a world that often tries to silence you. She continues to break barriers, inspire others, and push for a world where transgender people, especially transgender women of color, are not only seen, but celebrated. Peppermint, born on May 1, 1979 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is a celebrated drag queen, actress, singer, and activist who has made a significant impact in both the entertainment industry and the LGBTQ+ community. She rose to fame as a contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race in 2017, becoming the first openly transgender woman to compete on the show. This was a historic moment in the world of drag and LGBTQ+ visibility, as Peppermint's presence on Drag Race brought much-needed attention to the experiences of transgender women within the drag community and beyond. Peppermint's journey to becoming a trailblazer in the world of drag and entertainment has been marked by personal and professional struggles. She began her career in New York City's vibrant drag scene, where she quickly made a name for herself with her stunning performances and bold, unapologetic approach to drag. However, Peppermint's success did not come without its challenges. As a transgender woman, she faced immense discrimination within the drag community, where cisgender men often dominated the scene. Despite these obstacles, Peppermint's resilience shone through as she continued to rise in the ranks, gaining recognition for her unique combination of glamour, humor, and fierce advocacy for transgender rights. In addition to her work in drag, Peppermint has used her platform to advocate for transgender rights and visibility. She has been an outspoken critic of the systemic challenges faced by transgender people, particularly transgender women of color, and has used her fame to amplify the voices of marginalized individuals within the LGBTQ+ community. Peppermint's activism is also reflected in her music and performances, which often touch on themes of empowerment, self-love, and the importance of embracing one's true identity. However, like many other transgender individuals, Peppermint's existence was threatened by the policies implemented under Donald Trump's administration. Trump's executive orders, which legally defined gender as strictly biological sex, created a climate of fear and uncertainty for transgender people, especially those like Peppermint, whose gender identity was legally disputed. The order stripped her of her legal right to self-identify, forcing her to battle through bureaucratic systems to ensure her identity was acknowledged. This fear of being erased, particularly for public figures like Peppermint, was deeply unsettling. Despite the challenges she faced, Peppermint's legacy continues to grow. She remains an influential figure in both the drag and transgender communities, a symbol of resilience and empowerment. Her journey highlights the importance of visibility and acceptance, proving that no matter the obstacles, transgender people, especially those in the public eye, have the strength to continue fighting for their right to exist and thrive authentically. Dominique Jackson. Dominique Jackson, born on October 20, 1967 in Tobago, is an actress, model, and activist widely known for her role as Electra Abundance in the hit television series Pose. A towering figure in the ballroom scene, Jackson has become a beloved icon for transgender individuals, particularly Black transgender women, thanks to her powerful presence both on and off the screen. Her journey to stardom, however, was far from easy, shaped by hardship, rejection, and profound struggles with identity. Raised in a deeply conservative community in Tobago, Dominique faced intense resistance to her gender identity from a young age. Her family, steeped in traditional views, could not accept her truth, leading her to a painful sense of isolation and alienation. From the moment she began to embrace her true self, Dominique was forced to hide her identity in a world that was unwelcoming and hostile toward transgender people. Her childhood was marked by rejection, and she soon found herself seeking freedom away from her home, heading to New York City in search of a life where she could live authentically. In New York, Jackson immersed herself in the ballroom culture, where she would go on to become a legend. Under the ballroom name Electra Abundance, she gained prominence and recognition within the community, becoming one of the most respected and feared mothers of the scene. It was through this world that she found acceptance, a sense of belonging, and the courage to live openly as a transgender woman. Her transformation into Electra Abundance on Pose was more than just a role. It was a mirror to her own experiences of resilience, self-empowerment, and the fight for visibility for Black transgender people. Despite her success, Dominique Jackson's life was not free from the oppressive societal forces that sought to erase her identity. The Trump administration's executive orders, which legally defined gender as either male or female based on biological sex, struck at the very core of her identity. For someone who had fought so hard to be seen and accepted, these policies were not just a political setback, they felt like an attack on her very existence. Under these new policies, Jackson was forced to confront legal documents that did not reflect who she truly was. The trauma of this erasure was compounded by the constant fear of discrimination and rejection, especially as she was thrust into the spotlight as a leading figure in the LGBTQ+ community. Despite this, Dominique Jackson continues to rise as a beacon of strength and advocacy. Her journey is a testament to the power of resilience, the importance of visibility, and the unwavering commitment to living authentically no matter the societal pressures to conform. Angelica Ross. Angelica Ross, born on November 28, 1980 in Kenosha, Wisconsin, is a renowned actress, activist, and entrepreneur best known for her groundbreaking work in the television series Pose. Ross, who also founded the nonprofit organization Trans Tech Social Enterprises, has become a powerful advocate for transgender rights and a symbol of resilience within the transgender community, particularly for transgender people of color. Her path to success, however, has been filled with struggles that shaped her into the influential leader she is today. Raised in a challenging environment, Ross faced significant discrimination as a transgender woman. Her childhood was marked by a lack of acceptance from her family, who struggled to understand her gender identity. At a young age, she found herself homeless, living on the streets, and enduring hardships that many transgender individuals face, including violence, isolation, and lack of support. Despite these obstacles, Ross never gave up on her dream of a better life. She eventually found solace in the LGBTQ+ community, which became her support system during her early years of transition. Ross's breakthrough came in 2018 when she was cast in Pose, a series that centers on the lives of LGBTQ+ and particularly transgender individuals in the 1980s and 1990s. Her portrayal of Candy Ferocity, a fiery and unapologetically strong transgender woman, resonated deeply with viewers and provided a platform for Ross to not only showcase her acting talents, but also raise awareness about the struggles of transgender individuals. Through her work on Pose, Ross helped to break down barriers in Hollywood and ensured that transgender people of color had a voice in the entertainment industry. Beyond her acting career, Angelica Ross is the founder of Trans Tech Social Enterprises, a non-profit organization dedicated to providing transgender individuals with career opportunities in the tech industry. By empowering transgender people to develop skills and connect with job opportunities, Ross is changing the narrative around transgender employment and proving that they too can thrive in traditionally non-inclusive industries. However, Ross's fight for equality and recognition is far from over. The policies under the Trump administration, particularly the executive orders that stripped away legal recognition of transgender identities, directly impacted her ability to live authentically. The fear of erasure, as seen with other transgender individuals, became a daily reality for Ross, who was forced to navigate a world that refused to acknowledge her true gender. Legal documents, medical records, and even basic forms of identification no longer reflected who she was, threatening her ability to access essential services and live freely. Despite these challenges, Angelica Ross continues to fight for the rights of transgender people, particularly transgender women of color. Through her activism and visibility, she has proven that the fight for equality is far from over, and she remains committed to empowering the transgender community and ensuring that they are seen, heard, and respected. Indya Moore. Indya Moore is a groundbreaking American actor and model renowned for their role as Angel Evangelista in the acclaimed FX series Pose. Born on January 17, 1995 in the Bronx, New York, Moore identifies as transgender and non-binary, using they, them, and she, her pronouns. Their heritage is a rich tapestry of Haitian, Puerto Rican, and Dominican roots. At the age of 14, Moore left home due to familial transphobia and entered foster care, experiencing the challenges of moving through all 5 boroughs of New York City. Despite facing bullying and discrimination, Moore began modeling at 15, working with prestigious brands like Dior and Gucci, and later earned their General Equivalency Diploma (GED). In 2017, Moore's career took a significant turn when they were cast in Pose, a series set in the late 1980s and early 1990s New York City ballroom culture. The show was historic for featuring the largest cast of transgender actors in a scripted series, with Moore portraying Angel Evangelista, a transgender sex worker navigating love and identity. Their performance garnered widespread acclaim, showcasing the depth and complexity of transgender experiences. Beyond acting, Moore is a vocal advocate for transgender rights and visibility. They have used their platform to challenge societal norms and promote inclusivity. In 2019, Moore made history by becoming the first transgender person to appear on the cover of Elle magazine. They have also been featured in other major publications like Vogue, Teen Vogue, and L'Officiel, and have worked with renowned designers such as Louis Vuitton and Calvin Klein. Moore's activism extends beyond the entertainment industry. They have been outspoken against policies perceived as discriminatory, including those implemented during Donald Trump's presidency. In 2019, Moore was involved in a public altercation with a Trump supporter in New York City, highlighting their commitment to standing against hate and injustice. Following Trump's 2024 election victory, Moore joined other LGBTQ+ leaders in emphasizing resilience and unity, stressing the importance of love, compassion, and grace in the face of adversity. Through their multifaceted career and activism, Indya Moore continues to inspire and pave the way for greater representation and acceptance of transgender and non-binary individuals in media and society. In the face of increasingly restrictive policies, 15 Black LGBTQ+ celebrities have voiced deep concerns about the impact of Donald Trump's administration on their identities and rights. From actors like Laverne Cox and Michaela J. Rodriguez to activists such as India Moore, these trailblazers have fought hard for visibility, representation, and equal rights. Trump's executive orders defining gender strictly by biological sex pose a real threat to their very existence, forcing them to confront the fear of erasure. How can we stand together to ensure the protection and acknowledgement of these courageous individuals? Let's discuss in the comments. Subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence for more powerful stories.